Coming up next on the Jeff Crilley Show, we're going to talk to a legal expert about family law and one specialty that you may need to know about. Her journey just ahead.
Many are predicting that the worst is yet to come, which is unfortunate, said one person here. Until now, they've enjoyed the reputation of being the nation's icebox.
Watched a burglar in his home this morning by webcam.
As a journalist of over 25 years, stories are what make my world turn.
Reporting live from the Dallas newsroom tonight, Jeff Crilley, Fox 4 News.
But in 2008, I took the jump from my familiar life and started a PR firm from my home.
We're talking about anyone with a camcorder like the one I'm using becomes a television network.
We started slowly growing the company, and we now have over 100 clients, and we've branched into the world of live digital broadcasting. I now own 8 different TV studios and have a huge team, and the stories that I now get to share are sometimes the most important of my life. Life has a funny way of coming around full circle. This is the Jeff Crilley Show.
Well, unfortunately, one of the most common things that couples fight about is money, and we are heading into what is likely to be a difficult year next year. And what that means is family law attorneys will probably, unfortunately, be doing a great business because so many couples are going to be headed for divorce court. To talk about that today, Holly Draper, she is with the Draper Law Firm. Thanks for coming on the show.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah. How long have you been in the business?
So I started my firm late in 2008 after I lost a job during the recession and decided to start my own practice. And now I've grown to have 5 attorneys plus myself and practice exclusively family law.
Yes, and you have a specialty, and I want you to talk about it because it is unusual, and unfortunately many families are going through it right now.
Sure. So while we do cover the traditional family law areas, divorce, child custody, child support, that sort of a thing, we have a special niche related to non-parent child custody litigation, and specifically, grandparents suing parents for visitation or custody, step parents. It could be someone who just happened to live in the home, someone who had the child living with them for a period of time, be it a relative or a non-relative. That's the niche that I have really gotten into.
And it all started with one case that you did.
Yes. So in 2020, I represented a father in a non-parent custody litigation that made it all the way to the Texas Supreme Court. The case was called In Re CJC, and we ultimately argued that allowing a non-parent to have rights or possession over the rights of a fit parent violated that parent's constitutional rights and therefore was impermissible. And Texas Supreme Court agreed with us. We won 9-0 in favor of the father, and that really launched me into the area of non-parent custody litigation.
Holly, what did that feel like? I mean, arguing a case in front of the Supreme Court, you have to be nervous, period, but to win.
It was amazing. It was absolutely a career changer. It was a little bit unfortunate that it happened during COVID, so my argument happened via Zoom, but I have really stayed on top of the law in that area since then. I've represented a lot of other parents, usually, occasionally non-parents, in appeals and litigation statewide as we further hone in on this area of the law to usually protect parental rights. But occasionally there are parents involved in CPS or have some other skeletons in the closet, black marks against them, where it is appropriate for a non-parent to have rights or possession. And in that case, we certainly represent non-parents as well.
Well, one of the reasons you're on the show is that you and I share a great passion for integrity. And as I was doing my homework, I found a wonderful video. Let's go ahead and roll that.
Our law firm is different from other firms in a lot of ways. I think our core values really set us apart. Our core values would be integrity, excellence, and compassion. Integrity to us means doing the right thing at the right time for the right reasons in all circumstances. I expect everyone in our firm to act with the utmost integrity, whether it's dealing with clients, whether it's dealing with opposing attorneys and staff, court staff, judges, anyone that our firm may come in contact to during a family law matter. Our second core value is excellence. We really pride ourselves on bringing excellence to every aspect of our work at the firm, from the smallest interactions to large trials or appellate matters. Mere competence is not enough. We expect everyone in our firm to take things to another level and to handle everything with a certain quality of excellence. And our third core value is compassion. Compassion is one of the most important elements for a good family lawyer, but it's also important to understand where the line has to be drawn between showing compassion and also being honest with clients. Every client deserves to be heard. They deserve to be treated with dignity and respect. They need their problems heard, and they need someone who is understanding and compassionate to help them make their way through to the other side. We really strive hard to do that, to give our clients honest feedback about the best way to end up in the best position at the end of their family law matter. Clients can expect to be served with a manner of excellence at all times. We pride ourselves on keeping clients informed of their cases in a proactive manner. We pride ourselves on making sure that our clients are prepared, our attorneys are prepared. We want to be the most prepared attorneys in the courtroom if we're there for a hearing or a trial. We want to be extremely prepared going into mediation so that we aren't wasting time and so that our clients understand the process so we can help reach a good resolution in their case.
So why that video speaks to me is I think a lot of people who are, heading towards divorce get nervous about hiring the wrong attorney, an attorney who might want to prolong the fight and, rack up the legal bills. That's not you.
That is definitely not our style. Our goal is to put our client in the best possible position on the other side. And oftentimes in family law, you have people come in and they are mad and they want revenge, they want to fight. And usually, if that's their primary objective and we can't convince them that's the wrong objective, then we are not the firm for them. We try and encourage people to think about your children, think about your financial situation after this is over. And whereas revenge might feel good in the short term, it is not what is ultimately going to put you in the best place at the end of the day.
Yeah, we've got some video from our video library of just, couples fighting and heading towards divorce. I know that choosing the right attorney is so critical because divorce is never fun, but it is survivable. And if you do it right with respect for the other side, you can resolve it intact, can't you?
Absolutely. And I've been doing this for a long time now, and I've seen it's like a weight being lifted off of people's shoulder at the end when they get through the hard time and they see that they can survive on their own, or their kids are going to be okay when they're not together anymore.
And what's it like when you have a favorable outcome for your client and your client hugs you? I mean, that's got to feel good.
It's the best feeling in the world. Sometimes family law can get messy. It can drag you down if you let it, but when you have a victory or you have a result in the end, whether it's a settlement, mediation, or a trial that the client is happy with, and you see that you have really helped this person, you have really made their life better, it's the best job in the world.
Yeah. Well, the other thing we have in common is that we're both passionate about podcasting. We're going to go to your podcast page, and I'm so impressed with just the volume of work you're doing. Tell us why you do the show.
So I started the podcast as a way of, because I'm building up my appellate practice in addition to family law litigation, and it's a way for me to really connect with other attorneys around the state. I've learned a ton. I've met a lot of people that I never otherwise would have met, and it's really helped me become a pretty big name in family law statewide through that podcast.
Yeah, and you've been doing this for a long time. You said you launched your firm in 2008, is that right?
Yes.
And so you've seen a couple ups and downs in the economy. Am I right that when times get tough, those fights over money just escalate? Do more people head for divorce court during tough times?
They certainly do. Obviously, finances is one of the big triggers for what leads people to the path of divorce. And when times are good, there aren't usually so many fights about money. Some people, if they're really in a bad spot, they have a hard time paying for the divorce then. But we definitely, I would expect if there's a recession or even slowing of the economy further, I would expect there to be an increase in divorce filings.
Okay, tell us about the process. If somebody's watching this right now and they're saying, okay, I just found my attorney, they call you up. Is there a free get to know you session, or how does it work?
So we start with a free intake call with one of our intake specialists to determine if we are able to help this person, if they have a case that's a good fit for our firm, figure out, are there any reasons why our firm might not want this particular case, conflicts, or certain red flags that we look for that the person might not be a good fit for our firm. And once they make it through the intake process, then some people will retain right then. They don't feel like they need a consultation with an attorney. Others will move forward and have a consultation with me or one of the other attorneys in the firm. And then if the person decides to retain, we have a team that works with each client that's either a partner or senior attorney with an associate attorney and a paralegal. And that way, even if somebody's on vacation, there's always someone there who can help them. We're always bouncing ideas off of each other, working together. Having an associate and a paralegal doing the bulk of the legwork will help keep the cost down for the client, but they still get the expertise of that more experienced attorney.
Sure. There's another quality that I recognize in you as we get to know each other is empathy. And, you can have magna cum laude this or that, but you become a therapist, don't you, for some of your clients?
Definitely. They don't call us attorneys and counselors for nothing. It's a very fine line when you are a family law attorney of how much empathy to have. It can really, really get you down if you get too personally invested in the cases. But at the same time, if you don't care, why are you doing this? So you have to help that person, help them see past the anger, help them see past the sadness, help them realize this is what needs to happen to get you through to the other side.
Outstanding. Holly, we're almost out of time. So final thoughts, what would you like to leave people with?
So our firm is very much passionate about helping people through what can often be one of the worst times in their life. And I think we do a very good job of helping see people through to the other side and getting them in the best possible place they can be at the end of the day.
Outstanding. Thank you so much for coming on the show. We're going to end with your website, draperfirm.com. Holly Draper, thanks for coming on the show.
Thank you for having me.
That's it for now. We'll see you next time.